Hello Capricorn, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So today, Capricorn, we're going to look at October 2022 for you. We're going to look into the future, just a few weeks really, actually really like a week and a half at this point. So yeah, here we are, Capricorn. We're going to look at your career, projects, and money. We're going to look at personal relationships and your area of greatest growth in October 2022. We're going to use the Energy Oracle deck, the Moonology deck, the what is this called again? Tarot? Good tarot? No. Tarot of positive? No, I don't know. Tarot of light. I can't. Got a lot going on in my house right now. It's 10 of Cups anyways at the bottom for you. And the teeny tiny everyday March deck. I know what that deck is. That's so odd. Anyways, Light Seers Tarot. There we go. Capricorn. Cappuccinos, my Capricorn friends. Let's get started here. October 2022 for Capricorn. Career, money, and projects. The personal relationships. Wow, how did that win? So career, money, and projects. It looks good. It looks really good for you. The Sun. So something I want to say, like if there's something that you've been working towards, something that you've been trying to develop, it almost feels like something comes to its full fruition for you in career, projects, and money. You might be meeting a pretty substantial goal in October of 2022. If there's been something that you've been trying to clear up, if you've been having like difficulty in any way, it's like, wow, looks good. But you know, we have more cards to pull out. So I don't want to say like there's nothing that you have to do. There probably is still some stuff that you have to do, but it looks like if you get all your ducks in a row, you're going to have some good energy for your career, projects, and money in October. So now let's look at personal relationships in your area of greatest growth. Personal relationships, attachment, where you might be disconnecting from some personal relationships, or you may be at least evaluating them and how these are going for you. There might be some connections that you have with people where you're sort of realizing, okay, so something's actually kind of being shown to me here. So this might be something specific, or it might be kind of something similar for many of you, where it's almost as if I'm getting this image of somebody that you met. Let's say, for an example, you met somebody at a knitting bee. Isn't that like where you all sit together and you knit and stuff? So, you know, and like you connected with this person in that environment. It doesn't have to be a knitting bee, but it's some kind of environment like that that's very specific. And you met someone in that environment. Now, it's almost like the knitting bee thing ended a while ago and you're still connecting with this person once in a while, but you really have nothing to talk about, or it just feels like the more you get to know them, we don't really have that much in common. It was just the knitting and now that's done. Like there's just some sort of evaluation here that's going on about some relationships that are not perhaps, you know, knitting together. It should. Your area of greatest growth is the garden and the gate. Wow. Taking some chances here, going out in a direction that you haven't been in before, realizing that you've created abundance in your life in some way, but there's perhaps an open avenue here for you to explore, but it always does feel like with that card that it's kind of your choice. So maybe you're making that choice, or maybe you're not, I don't know. Angel of Balance and Journey. Or somewhere near here that you need to go. I like that with the garden and the gate. So that is something that is bringing, if there's some sort of movement, a journey, maybe it's a new project, maybe it's new people that you're going to meet. This is bringing like balance into your life. That's the intention of any of these changes in October 2022 for you. All right, let's look at the Moonology deck. Keep developing this reading for you, Capricorn. Not ready to take those, but you have. It's time to release negativity, meditate, and contemplate. There you go. The cards are jumping all over the place. Conclusions are within reach. A time to give rather than take. Step out of your comfort zone. All right. Be specific for Capricorn, for career, projects, and money, personal relationships, and their area of greatest growth in October of 2022. Career, projects, and money. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Well, isn't that interesting? Because the sun is really like a self-actualization card. So I want to say there might be a part of you that you're going to introduce to projects or work or some avenue with money that you've not introduced before. But it's like a real part of you here. So this is something that either is naturally you, and maybe you've always kind of kept it back a little bit, but you're definitely, because it's Aquarius energy, right? It does feel like it might be something a little bit unusual. It could be an unusual approach or idea that you have in October of 2022 also. It might even be some sort of humanitarian project as well. Or you might want to incorporate some sort of humanitarian. I'm getting, some of you might, at work, you might be thinking about, you know how you see like local businesses will often help to sponsor like local baseball teams and softball teams and things like that, and they'll have them in their office, or there's something like that. I don't know, it might even be getting you seen as well. And this could though, but I feel like because Show the World the Real You, it does feel like whatever this is, if it is something even humanitarian or kind of charitable like that, it is something that is very reflective of you. Like maybe if it was a softball team, it's like, yeah, the greatest moments I ever had in my childhood were with the softball team. I really learned about teamwork. I really learned about friendship. Something here. But it feels like it's something that a lot of people haven't seen of you. Personal relationships, attachment. Jeez, what do you need to release? Sue-Ann from the knitting bee. I don't know. It's funny. Well, you're going to be looking at some of your relationships, Capricorn, and some of them, it just kind of feels like on the wayside. And because she's like chained to this post, it's almost like, yeah, I got to meet Sally Ann. Every other Tuesday we meet for coffee, but damn, there's nothing to talk about. Like we have nothing in common. It just like, it almost feels like an obligation, but it's just not working. It's just not working. Your area of greatest growth is the garden and the gate. So exploring something. You got Aquarius energy again. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. So, with full moon. Full and new moon in Aquarius. Interesting. So, okay, it feels like in career, projects, and money, this is maybe even something that you're kind of like, you're completing it in some way. And I feel like it completes in exactly how you would have liked to seen it finish. Or like how, in the way that you would like to see this fulfilled. That happens in October here for you. And now a new moon over here, it might even be a part of yourself that you've been trying to develop. And maybe now you're going to utilize that part of you. It's like you've developed it, perhaps even become really comfortable within yourself about this. And maybe it's even been highlighted in like more non-personal projects like career and money. But now there's something that almost like the same energy, but bring love into the situation. So you might be looking at things with a different perspective. And the new moon, it just feels like, yeah, like a fresh new approach. And it is a fresh new approach going out that gate with, there's nothing really growing out there. You haven't planted any seeds in this direction. It's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio, and that's it. There could be some negative feelings or thoughts you have about some relationships around you. And, you know, just kind of letting those go. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really feel like there's a lot of negativity here. But well, let's see what the tarot says. Okay, Capricorn. What is the tarot going to tell us? It's so cold here. It was like 3 degrees Celsius this morning when I woke up. And I think it was a couple days ago I had the air conditioning on. really did. Summer is over. The Sun, show the world the real you. Attachment, what do you need to release? The Garden and the Gate, bring love into the situation. The Sun, career, projects, and money. The Five of Swords. Wow. So this could be something that you've been working to cut out. Something that has been really difficult to eliminate in your life. There could be some people that have even possibly been trying to hold you back from completing some sort of a project here. This project has a very personal level feeling to me with it, like showing the world the real you and the Sun. So like there might have even been some personal feelings in this about, you know, things that people have said or not believing in some sort of idea that you had that you wanted to develop and grow. I feel like you move right past beyond that stuff. And now you're going to show your true colors in a way here. Wow, the Page of Swords. It is different and unique, and you're kind of balancing as you go here. You do have a lot of ideas, but I think these ideas are springing from something that you complete. It's a little bit like, let's say, you've always groomed your own dog, right? So you're like, okay, I can groom my own dog. And then you think, I wonder if I could groom other people's dogs. So you ask your friends, can I try grooming your dog? I'm sure, you can groom my dog. So you groom different dogs, and it's almost like you learned the things that you needed to learn in that experience, but it wasn't necessarily the big project that maybe you want to create. You know, it wasn't like starting a dog grooming business. It was just realizing that, you know what, there's a lot of different types of fur. There's a lot of different types of dog personalities. Would I even be able to do that? And I just feel like here, it's almost as if some people said, no, probably not. Like, I wouldn't even, do you know how much work that's going to be? Like, it just feels like you needed to cut some conversations out or cut out, yeah, some people's opinions here. And then I do feel like it does, because that's what I mean. It feels like you're still in the beginning process somehow, but you have closed off an element of it. And that element feels like discovering, you know what? I think I could groom dogs for a living. I'm actually, it's not just I'm good with mine, but I can bring this ability into other situations that are very similar, but slightly different. So it's still the Page, like you're still learning here, but I do feel like you've reached an important level in this, whatever it is. I mean, it's gonna be dog grooming, but it's kind of like that. You've gotten your toes a little bit wet here, and it's something unique to you. And now you're kind of getting ready to go even further with it. But it's a bit of a balancing act, right? So now it's almost like imagining, well, it's one thing just to groom your friends' dogs in your house when you have a bit of spare time. It's another thing to think about this in terms, you know, of a business. Like, well, you probably have to get some type of insurance. You probably, I don't know what, you have to get a schedule going. You have to get all the right different types of soaps and shampoos, and, you know, so there's all this planning and all these ideas that are actually, so it's almost like, that's where I'm going with this. It's like, you know, when you do all those different dogs, it makes you realize, you know what, I need something for really tight curly fur. I need to get a shampoo for that. Oh, I need, I don't know what else. You're gonna need, like, I don't groom dogs, so I don't know. But it's almost like the experience makes you realize what you need here. So now you're looking into that and you're planning around it. Intriguing. It's kind of intriguing. Okay, so your personal relationships, attachment, the Page of Pentacles. Oh, that's interesting too. These could be some people that maybe even you know through your kids, or you've known through your own kids. Yeah, I always find that really fascinating, right? Because like when you have kids too, there's some people that, like, okay, your kids make friends and then they want to go to their birthday parties. So especially when they're young, usually like you kind of hang out at the birthday party because you don't know who you're dropping your kid off to. It's not like the 70s where I take my kid, I'll be back in 3 hours. And kind of watch and make sure there's not like a crazy toxic home or so. But then you kind of, you know, you talk to these different people that you would never probably connect with if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, all your kids happen to like playing cops and robbers in the playground together, so they want to do the birthday party together. There's, you know, it's coming up like that knitting bee again. Like there's something here that connects you to some sort of personal relationships, but beyond that, it doesn't connect you. And it almost feels like that's finished. So maybe your kids have gone to a new school or they've gone to college now. Even if it's not like something like that, although it does feel like that this is definitely something that's connected you to people, but that connection is gone. So it kind of feels irrelevant to keep meeting them every other Tuesday for coffee. It could even be like some of these relationships just feel a little bit immature. They don't feel like very well developed. You're assessing these. What do you need to release? The 8 of Wands. Well, you just might need to talk about some things here. Yeah, you might need to release yourself too. You might even be tied down to some things that you would really rather not be tied down to. And these could be personal commitments, personal relationships that you have in October. Yeah, really does kind of feel like you're thinking about some of these things in October, Capricorn. You need to communicate. That's what you need to release. You need to release your communication here. You might even need to release yourself and move around and travel more. Oh, you had Journey, right? Angel of Balance and Journey. So I feel like if you're getting any ideas of changing your routine or changing the people you hang out with, or, you know, something comes up in your life that seems to be directing you into movement or change like that, it's kind of meant to do something here. It's meant to create more balance in your life. Okay, your area of greatest growth, the Garden and the Gate. Wow, the 10 of Wands. You're leaving behind some heavy burden here. But because it's connected with the Garden and the Gate, I think it's a lot of thoughts that you carry with this. Like a lot of heavy thoughts. There's that, you know, it's funny that you have these 2 Aquarius cards because it kind of has that feeling of the Fool. And I get that with the Journey card as well. It just reminds me of that, like kind of like she's ready to take a leap off of that suspension bridge. So it is like, you know, thinking about like not taking a lot with you when you do that. Releasing some of the heavy burdens. They could be objects. Again, commitments. I really feel like you guys are assessing what's got value in your life and what you're just doing just because it's a habit that you established a long time ago, but it really doesn't make any sense anymore. Your area of greatest growth, bring love into this situation. Wow, the 2 of Cups. That's bringing love into the situation. Connecting really, really well with people. I think that's going to be one of your greatest areas of growth. I'm really interested in clarifying your personal relationships here, because I feel like definitely for some of you, it's the strongest message coming out that some of these are not, these are relationships that you could just, you know, we're probably both better off going in a different direction here. But then, I don't know, there might be something new here, but you haven't you're attached to something. It's some sort of concept, like, I don't know. Could I join Dog Groomers of America after I've been in the Knitting Bee of America? I'm just saying. Okay, at the bottom you have the 5 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. Maybe the Knitting Bee didn't end so well. No, maybe the Knitting Bee didn't end so well. Something here doesn't feel like it ended so well, and you're kind of left in disappointment. I really get this feeling like there's either a group of people or a person that you met through something, like, I don't know, whatever it was. And somehow it could be connected to kids. And it could be, and it's like, it just didn't go, I don't know. It's just like, it just feels like it didn't go well. So, let's do teeny tiny tarot and clarify all this stuff. It's very quiet here right now. If some of you probably know that little Abydos came in and he's been with us now. Yeah, not quite 24 hours. Anyway, so he's wandering around in the house, and my biggest hope has happened where, well, he's hissed at Lily, but she ain't giving up. Like, that's fine. She just goes in her own direction. I figured she would. My biggest worry was him, like, chasing her around the house, to be honest. Because she's had some experiences with cats and almost lost her nose, and luckily they just missed. And she gives them space. She's like, yeah, I know what you have behind those fluffy little feet. So they come out, and anyways, she's obsessed with his food, as I figured she would be. So I've put it up high. She can't reach it, but then she sits under them. She's just waiting and waiting and waiting. And so it's quiet. I think Abados is tired. He might sleep a little. I think he's under my son's bed. I'm just doing this right now because he has a PA day. So he's home right now before he goes out. So I thought, well, that's a handy time to do it. Anyways, I'm going to make a video about all that anyways. But I'm just noticing how quiet it is, because it wasn't quiet for a while. He was wandering around like, meow, meow. My son says he's doing echolocation. I don't know. Five of Swords with the Sun card for career, projects, and money. The hell is this? The Four of Pentacles and the Devil. I don't know. Maybe there's something that's been blocking, like a real passionate project that you have that's really about you here. And oy, oy, oy. Something's been cut out. I think you're working on that. I almost feel like you could even be working on like something that is really just, what's this, like totally blocked and toxic? What the hell is it? What is this? It's cut out, it doesn't move, and it's manipulative. What is this for Capricorn? The King of Wands, the Sun, the Nine of Swords. Okay, there's something here that is for you. It is yours to develop. It is yours to create. It is yours to embody. And it's either A, been cut out, and it feels like there's no way to move forward, and the devil's got you by the short and curlies and everything in between on this. But the way through this is you find a Leo friend, find actually any fire friend, and just like figure out how to push through this, because there's fire energy all over this. And then you have the Sun twice. How do you get there is the King of Wands. So the Nine of Swords comes up though. It's almost as if like for you to accomplish something here, it feels like you need to step into an energetic resonance that doesn't naturally, or at least for whatever this is, you don't feel naturally comfortable with it. Because it puts you in your head right away. Like really overthinking this. And then this almost, because like, and he's going like this with his head with the Five of Swords. And I've got these two cards sitting up here. And then there's a crow in his ear. It's almost like you convince yourself otherwise of something that you should be able to accomplish. But it takes us a certain amount of willpower and a certain amount of fortitude. Real strong leadership on your part. And not being swayed from what your mind tells you here. The Page of Swords. I'm going to do each one of these individually. The Page of Swords. Actually, no. That didn't come out first. Show the world the real you. Show the world the real you. The Knight of Cups. Very nice. So there's a part of your heart here that's definitely being held back. There's an emotional side of you, even a romantic, dreamy side, that I don't feel like, at least the level that's being asked of you, is being shown. It's almost like the last thing that you need to do here with the full moon. There's a part from your heart here that is the last thing that you need to do. I'm kind of getting to like just thinking of Capricorn, the captains of industry. Imagining, you know, like if you've had some sort of a work project that you've been involved with, because this is career, projects, and money too. And you've had to really be, I would almost say like the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords with this sort of energy. And sort of kind of creating projects and ideas and then getting the right people on board with those. But it's been almost like really strategic, really intellectual. And then it's almost like all your ducks are in a row. Let's say you guys are getting ready for a big conference or something, and so-and-so was in charge of booking the hotel rooms for everybody, and so-and-so was in charge of making sure there was enough tables for where you guys were going to be having a display or something, you know, and making sure everyone's got their passes to get into the conference. It just feels like that. And then it's like the night before you all leave to go somewhere on this conference. And then, but see, you don't need all that technical stuff anymore because it's all been done. So it's almost like what everyone needs now is a pep talk that comes from your heart. Like that's the part. Now that's what needs to be. This is the real you, because you know, and it might even be like if you're kind of like a boss or an executive, it might even be the part of you that you wouldn't usually readily show, right? Because you always have to be on the game. You always have to be impartial and make sure everyone's doing everything and no favorites. But this is the part here where you can almost like walk around the room before everyone's getting ready to go. And it almost feels like you're being asked to step into some form of leadership that is just making you feel a little bit anxious about, but it's the key to winning this. And going around and saying, John, I couldn't have asked for anything better from how you got everything set up. I didn't think we'd all get rooms like that. I can't tell you enough how grateful I am. It's like this, almost like this stuff that comes from your heart is how you conclude something. Because to me, then it's almost like concluding getting ready for the conference. Because the next morning you start it. You all get on the planes and you go. But you see, you create a different atmosphere with this Knight of Cups before you all get on the plane in the morning. Now the Page of Swords. And that even feels like all the work leading up. Page of Swords. Queen of Wands. Look at this. Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands. Wow, this is some cool energy. This is showing the world the real you. It's just really like you need to step into some sort of leadership capacity here in a way that you haven't done that yet. And whatever this is for you, it's something that it feels like you get into your head a bit about it. And then with the Four of Pentacles and the Devil, like it goes round and round and round in there and it doesn't release for a while. But it's a completely different approach. This is like being really passionate and excited and having a lot of feelings and emotions here. And then this is your key to success. So, gotta keep going. All right, attachment, personal relationships, the Attachment card. Jeez, the Two of Cups. I kind of felt like it was these two, area of growth and personal relationships. So is there something... Again, though, I don't want to get on and say this is great. This is a new thing coming in your life. I mean, it might be, but it just feels like, yeah, like a connection that you used to have, but there's not there anymore. Like I'm even thinking of like a friend I had years ago. I used to do horseback riding, and she owned a horse, and we were friends for such a long time. But then it got to the point where the conversations are just, I don't know. Because I wasn't horseback riding anymore and her horse had passed away a long time ago. You know, it's just like that. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's not... The Page of Pentacles. The Hanged Man. Well, definitely giving something consideration. Look at this. The Hanged Man and the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is what you need to release. So I think you're looking at how to talk about something. How to talk about something with someone. You're looking at how to talk about something with someone. How to get that conversation started. What do you need to release? The conversation by the looks of it. Justice, the Knight of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups and the Five of Swords. Well, there's that Five of Swords over there with the Sun. I don't know that it's related, though. It doesn't really feel like it. What you need to release. Okay, it's almost like a very steady plan here of walking. Yeah, okay, this is funny. This does not feel like something that you cut out like that. I'll just tell you that right now. I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know. It's not something that you cut out quickly, but you do at some point, which is really funny. Or maybe you have been going slow with this and you just need to like take the guillotine to it at this point. Because what I'm seeing here with the Knight of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, and the Five of Swords, it's like it's slowly leads. Okay, I'm slowly walking away here. Maybe when Sally realizes that, you know, I've suddenly just not been available for coffee every other Tuesday, she'll get the hint. And you become kind of emotionally detached. Like, that's your first plan there. And then with the Eight of Cups, all right, I'll show up at one of these coffee meetings. And you do, and you can tell you're really just not invested in it. You're kind of looking out the window. You're not really, if Sally's not carrying on the conversation, you're not in there at all. And then the Five of Swords is almost like, you know what? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Really, Sally, do you really want to sit and talk with me that much? I don't know what the answer to that is, but it just feels like you just say, I really don't want to be here. The Five of Swords. So Capricorn, I'm not sure what stage of this you're at, but I really do see it as possibly something that you've been like almost sneaking away, very slowly detaching yourself. Have they noticed? Have they got the hint yet? So the Eight of Wands. Oh, what is this? King of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Two of Pentacles. I just talked about that King of Pentacles and King of Swords, which is what it like felt like over here. But you're being asked to be more King of Wands. The King of Wands would tell you, right up, I really don't want to meet anymore. I don't know what the point of this is. Or he'd probably just block you. You can't talk to me anymore. That's funny. King of Pentacles. And it is like juggling something here. Like what? You're walking in, are you walking towards juggling some options? Maybe. I don't know. It's a really interesting approach with your personal relationships. For some of you, this could be people that you met at work as well, like moving away from the King of Pentacles to the Two of Pentacles is somehow providing you with more peace of mind, moving out of the King of Pentacles, like having, like, I guess, a lot of achievement, responsibility, and almost like starting a little bit from the beginning again, but having some choices about it. Sometimes I wish it could be a fly on the wall, you guys, because this looks like a really interesting conversation. All right, so the garden and the gate, your area of growth, of greatest growth, is the garden and the gate, the Two of Swords. Oh, and the Page of Swords. Wow, if there's something you've been trying to figure out, and it might have something to do with showing the world the real you, doing something for you, you're going to do it. You're gonna come up with an idea here. You're going to see what you needed to see, and you're going to know what you needed to know that you haven't known. About going down a road that's a little less traveled, but it feels like you're carrying a lot with you. The Ten of Wands. Oh, see? And getting rid of the shit, getting rid of the baggage, the World card. You might even be traveling too. There could be some sort of travel here with the Eight of Wands twice and the World card now as well. And the Journey card. I think some of you could be traveling in October, or at least getting ready to. Yeah, just being able to move in some form. Bring love into the situation. New Moon in Aquarius. The Hierophant and Judgment. For some of you, there could be like a commitment here, and you're having like a new beginning with it. You're having a new beginning here with something that, it could be a marriage for some of you. I'm really curious. I don't know, maybe. Now I'm looking at this. I'm thinking, have some of you maybe been seeing someone on the side? You don't have to put that in the comments. I don't know what that is. It's really curious because here with the Hierophant and Judgment, it's like a new beginning. Some of you you might be putting some sort of commitment and having a new beginning, but I think for some of you, it might be a second go at a relationship that you have a commitment in. The Two of Cups, oh, well, maybe not. And the Queen of Swords. Yeah, that feels a little bit more like you're cutting something out. There we go. The Two of Cups over here, right? This thing that just feels like it's just not working. All right, for some of you, because the Two of Cups is kind of showing me like areas to look. For some of you, I feel like you may have either been having a relationship of some sort that is outside of a committed relationship that you might already have. Now, this could be intellectual cheating, emotional cheating, physical cheating. I don't know. You don't have to put that in the comments. But I feel like some of you are cutting that out. And then you're giving your committed relationship a second chance. And then for others of you, I feel like you're cutting a lot of stuff out. Like, and you might have people that, like, that could be also what I'm seeing here is it could be something like whatever this commitment might represent. Maybe it was a commitment to the sewing bee, or it was a marriage. But there's people that it feels like to me that you know them through that commitment, and you're kind of like moving away from that, or you've been slowly moving away from that, and you're really in October. And then here, right, like cutting it out for a new beginning. I don't want to say relationships seem complicated for you in October. I mean, it doesn't. It just kind of feels like there's a lot. So, what was at the bottom? The Three of Cups, the Death card, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. What is that about? Kind of feels like almost like if there's something you've been trying to work on here and end, I would say that you do, because there's some sort of a celebration here. This could even be completing a project. You know, it's coming up with that Korean project, Three of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, but then the Death card comes in, and then it's just like this great celebration. So, really interesting, Capricorn. I'm going to go do the extended for you. In the extended, I'm going to look at the most unexpected changes for you in October of 2022. Thank you so much, Cappuccinos. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.